Hi guys, Christian here, and I'm here to do a reading for the sign of Scorpio. How you guys doing? I know y'all birthdays are coming up. It's almost Scorpio season. Hope you guys are all doing great. It's gonna be for Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising. So if this doesn't resonate with you, you can also check out your rising and your moon sign videos, and maybe there's a message there as well. Okay, thanks for tuning into my channel. Please click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'm sure you guys are getting tired of me yapping, so I'm gonna just hop into the reading. All right, see, we're gonna start out with a wild unknown animal spirit card to kind of get a general idea of Scorpio's energy at this time for the month of October. What's Scorpio's energy for the month of October? Oh, that wanted to come out. Oh, you got the same card that you got the same card that Leo got. Okay, so maybe this is like a fixed sign thing, but yeah, this is definitely like a perspective shift. This is coming into some newness. We're leaving behind, we're leaving past something, and we're going towards something. For some of you, I get a feeling that you may be seeing something from a better perspective now that you're removing yourself from it, because that's usually what I get from this card. But what's different from Leo is I was thinking that for Leo it's more so about themselves. For you guys, this is seeing a particular situation. I don't really know exactly what it is, but it's once you remove yourself from it, or once you step back and you look at it from a macro perspective rather than the micro, the write up on it, you start to get clues. And for some of you, this is a message. If it's been something, because you have the you have the panther here, and the panther here is something that that you're trying to look at for something to, you're trying to purge something or remove something, but you're not exactly sure of what it is yet. And I kind of don't know what it is. It's almost like this something is missing feeling. Like you have that you eat a soup and then you're like something is missing here, and you can't really figure out exactly what it is, but you have to kind of remove yourself, taste something else first, maybe drink a drink of water, and then go back and say, oh yeah, definitely that's missing. And I feel like some of you guys are in this place right now where you're stepping to look back. This is a proactive energy for you guys, so I don't feel like it's something that is bad. It's just that I can kind of tell that you guys are kind of looking at something from a bigger perspective, or from a you're looking at the big picture rather than looking down up on it. And maybe for some of you that have not done this, this is the thing. If there's a particular situation, or there's a person in your life, or there's a situation in your life that you're very unsure of right now, because you got this I'm getting this like, that's kind of what I'm getting, like this doesn't, I wish you guys could see my face, because my friends say that I have an face that I always make. I'm a Taurus, so everything that I do you can see on my face, everything that I feel you can see on my face. But I'm getting the feeling that I'm getting for you guys is like the I'm not buying it. Like, nah, not believing it. But it's about something that's going on in your life, or something that you're really deeply vested in or tied into. If you want the certainty of it, you have to remove yourself from it. So this could also be getting an outside opinion, or getting a if this is like a relationship, this is getting a third person, like a mediator or something like that. If it's something going on at work, you may need to step the situation up so that somebody else can look at it. It needs a set of fresh eyes, or a set of new eyes. And I said it at 3:33. So it's something, a third party that's needed. Like if you're arguing with somebody, or if there's been like this ongoing dispute or something like with someone, there needs to be a third person to see. And I feel like whoever it is, or whatever it is going to side with you. But I feel like whatever this opposing force is, not saying that you can't do it alone, it's almost like I'm feeling like it's like if two different forces are of equal power, then nobody can, the fight will never be over, right? Because nobody outdoes each other. So I feel like for whatever reason, this is kind of getting you to step out of your comfort zone of just staying in situations that are uncomfortable, versus asking for help that you need to be able to get out of some of those situations. So I feel like this is kind of like a gridlock, and maybe spirit is not maybe I feel like spirit is gridlocking you to where you can't move. Is making it to where you can't move, because every time you try to get out, something kind of comes back at you. I don't know if you guys watch Avatar, but there's this if you watch The Legend of Korra, it's on Netflix now. there was a point in time where she's the avatar, but then there became this anti-avatar, right? So there it's equally as powerful as her. So when they fight, you know, she had to do some things extra to be able to, you know, to finish that out. I hope I didn't ruin it for you if you haven't seen it. That's years old, so if you haven't seen it, sorry guys. But this is wanting you to know about the law of duality, that everything is going to have an opposing force in the universe. And there may be some times where you can you can overpower things, but it's wanting you to understand that it's almost like my I feel like my mom used to say something like, it's always you're not the biggest and baddest thing. So what that means is like that's somebody who walks around with their chest poke out and they think they can pick on everyone and they can bully everyone around, and then one day you finally meet your match, and then you can't do that to everybody. So this is the universe trying to let you know that, not to say that you're a bully or that you're a bad person or anything like that, right? It could be that you could be a soft-spoken person, and then you kind of like find somebody that's soft-spoken too, and then they don't. You guys probably have this weird energy, but nobody's saying anything about it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're and somebody's fighting you back. It doesn't mean that. It just means that there are things that are equally out there to push you along, to make you break out of it. A lot of times with this happens with friend groups and with things like that, because if everybody thought the same, okay, how can I explain it? Because I feel like I'm kind of losing track of what I'm saying. So let me get this together. Don't think I'm weird because I'm touching this card. It's making me feel like I fly above all the haters. It's candy. So maybe it could be somebody that is right there with you. It's just like I can't describe it. It's just like the competitor. The competitors are equal, so it's like you can't outdo the other person, or you can't outdo the situation. It's this energy of it being the same, it matching, and the only way to be able to win it is to see it from another angle. That way you can see your vantage point of how to win, and that could be bringing in another person to be able to help you with whatever this is. And that the reason why this situation, or why situations keep turning that way, is because they're wanting you to reach higher, to be a better competitor on the field, right? To not think that you're the biggest and baddest, and that brute force can push somebody out. And not just brute force like physically pushing them, but energetically as well. You guys are a tough cookie. We're fixed signs. You, me, which is Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, we are tough cookies. Nobody can stand a chance. I'm not saying that any other no you know, shade to any other signs, but we're fixed. So if we put our feet firm in the ground on anything, we can hold to it. And sometimes we can use that to our advantage. We can hold on to things. All four of us can kind of hold on to things or stay rigid in our ways, and we can stay in that long enough to where it can make the mutable signs and the cardinal signs do something else. The cardinal signs are going to get bored and say bye-bye, right? And then the mutable signs are going to adapt to whatever it is that you're doing. So when you meet and this could be another fixed sign, so it could be an Aquarius, it could be another Scorpio, it could be a Leo, or it could be a Taurus. But it's like whenever you guys do that, nobody can ever win without a third opinion. So it's wanting you to elevate yourself, and that's why that person is there, that situation is there to make you rise above it, right? So I know that was kind of lengthy, but you know, it is what it is. All right, next we're gonna pull from the Fuzzy Prism Oracle. Let's see. I want to know what this opposing force is I'm talking about. Let's see, Spirit, what message do we have? Look at that. You see what I'm saying? The balance, like the person, the thing is equal with you. It's balance. It's like balanced competition. It's not, nobody can like tip the scale. And you see what I'm saying? 1, 2, and then you need a third party or a third entity to be able to find it. For some of you, what I'm getting with this is internal for some of you, and what it is this masculine and feminine aspects of yourself. They make you immobilized. So how can I describe it? Give me a second. Spirit, how can I describe this? Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry that took me it took me a minute, guys. I had to kind of bring myself in and see how Spirit wanted me to describe this to you. So what it is that yes, you've mastered how to get things done, and you've mastered how to be quiet and let things and receive things, right? That's not the test anymore. At one stage and point in your life, maybe it was, oh, I'm overreacting to situations. Let me be quiet. And then at one point in time, it was like, I'm too quiet. Let me react. So now I don't know whichever phase of this that you were going through, because every person is different. Like some people come into life with with a heavy masculine energy, and they have to learn how to manage or how to work with the feminine a little bit more. And some people come in the opposite. It doesn't really have to be male or female. It doesn't matter. It's just that we come in with the tendency to lean more one on the one than the other, because nobody's exactly balanced. Even if it's like 1% off, nobody's like that. But you can work with it to be able to understand it. Well, now that you understand both of them, Spirit has to be you have to listen to Spirit to know which one to use in which situation. You can't be all of one and you can't be all of the other, right? Because the moment that you do one, you can find the match for that, and then it won't work. So if somebody decides to, if you decide to, I'm gonna go in with force, and another person decides to come in with force, then boom, then you're gonna bump heads. Nobody wins, right? And if you say, well, I'm not gonna talk about it, and they decide not to talk about it, well, it doesn't get resolved. So either way, the situation doesn't get resolved. You see it? Either you're gonna keep on fighting and it's never gonna end, or you're both not gonna say anything, and life keeps mirroring those situations to you with whatever one you're trying to be in the pocket of, so that you can learn, maybe I have to meet this situation with the other thing. Okay, when this person is not talking to me, maybe I have to not fight, but step in and, hey, let's talk about this. Or maybe when I'm being quiet about something, maybe when this person is trying, I should open myself up to allowing this person to come to me to talk, or things don't change. Either way, if we don't act with the opposite force, then things won't change, because it's a balance, it's an equal force. And you have to let your heart space determine which one to be. That's how you see from a different perspective. You're like, oh, you're acting angry? Oh, let me act with love. Okay, oh, you're not gonna say anything. You're stepping back. You're being too passive. Let me step up in this situation, all right? So it's proactive, because you don't really know what you've managed these things. You don't want to go off, and you don't want to not say too little. But in order to learn your balance, in order to be able to know which one to act in which way, you have to put practice to it. You can't just stay in one pocket, or you just get the same results, and it'll get kind of boring, right? So life could be a little bit stagnant when we get into that space, all right? Oh, thank God the balance card came out. I was like, what is this about? So it's funny how both of y'all you and Leo got perspective. Oh, it could be a Leo. It totally could be a Leo that you're kind of doing that with, because that's the perspective shift card that I got with him too. Let's see, I'm gonna shuffle these again. Oh, that card wanted to come out. We'll leave that right there. Actually, I'll turn it over while we're going through things. Yeah. So I want you to see six is about communication and our mindsets, our logic. I'm sorry, swords are about that. But 6 is bringing them into harmony. So once again, you see how understanding that and using that, bringing harmony to those, and with Spirit involved, that brings you from these choppy waters into smoother sailing, if you can learn how to do that. And I think that you're getting this perspective to be able to see that from a higher perspective, to be able to do that. The 5 of Swords can be, you know what? I'm a stickler for this. I just need to be a tarot card teacher instead of like trying to do readings, because I'm always showing people things in cards so they can understand cards a little bit better. Don't worry, that's coming. But let's see. Let me show y'all. This is the 5 of Swords. I want y'all to see what the 5 of Swords looks like, so you can understand kind of what I was trying to give you. You see this thing right here? It's like this battle, this great war. Like, they're gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. The 5 of Cards is a victory that's not really that's like yeah, you won the fight, but you destroyed like half the town doing it. And look, these people, they're not having fun doing that. Like, right? Like, so, you know, so for some of you, it could be a little bit more of the aggressiveness and learning how to dial that back and when to be aggressive and when to turn it down a little bit. But you're getting this is the Five of Swords. You're getting this Sixth Sword right here to be able to bring the balance to that, so that you can be able to know what to give to the situations to make them be balanced on the same in the same way. It's not the same energy. You don't do onto like you don't treat it's not an eye for an eye. You don't do other people how they do you, because nothing gets solved. I hope that science kind of shows you why that doesn't work energetically, because some people say F that. If a person do this to me, I'm gonna do it back. Yes, you can do that if you want to live that way. That's totally fine. I'm not saying it, but on an energetic level, do you understand why that doesn't work? It's like putting two magnets that are the opposite right there. It just repels. It doesn't change anything. Okay, it's a repelled magnet. Now what? Nothing came together. It just stayed right there. So this is learning how to when to do that and when to pull back. It's not saying you let everybody do you any kind of way, but it's just saying, oh, okay, that's what you're doing. I'm gonna let you do that. I'm gonna act like this. You're acting crazy right now. You're showing up this way. Guess what? I'm gonna let you do that, and I'm gonna be peaceful in that moment. Okay. Oh, you're acting like you don't know what you're doing to me. Okay, so you're being quiet about it. Well, hey, I feel like you're doing this, and this is hurting. This hurts me, or this bothers me. Can we change that? That doesn't mean that you have to have an attitude because you expressed yourself. That doesn't mean that you have to be loud or anything like that because the person is pretending that they're not doing what they're doing to you, right? I've had people do that to me all the time, where they do things passively aggressive to me, and I used to do this all. Let me tell you something, y'all. I will do this. Let me tell you why I'll do it. Because you know what you did. You know what you did to me. And you know that you knew that I would act like this. That's why you did it. And you knew that it would look like you didn't try to make me do it. So it would make me look crazy. And that's exactly how you look, Scorpio, if you actually fall for it. So to be smarter, if you want to know how to win, because I try to tell people this, if you want to know how to really, really win, you have to say, oh, you're in that space. Let me not match it. Let me do the thing that you've been doing to me. Let me put my hands back. And not to say that you have to do it from the same place. That's the problem. People, it's not doing some of the things back. It's the place that you do it from. So like ignoring, ghosting somebody, blocking them. And I'll tell you, look, Spirit is wanting me to talk about my experiences, so I will. There used to be this thing I used to do when people look, so I'll tell y'all my story, because I got a story about this right here. What I used to do was, like, people knew that I was reactive, right? We should never be reactive. We should be responsive, not reactive. There's a difference. Reaction means that I got caught up in whatever they had going on, right? And I'm reacting to it. Responding is seeing it and balancing. Oh, okay, this is what they're giving. Let me give the other element to balance the situation out and complete it, to balance my checkbook, right? For what you spend, for what is being spent in this account, let me put it back in to make the account, make this zero and not let it be negative. That's how you get it back to the zero. You want to keep a zero balance. You don't want to owe anybody, you know, and if anything you want, but you don't want it at the expense of them owing either. You want a zero balance when you're doing accounting, right? So here's what would happen. These people knew if I want to get this, if I want to get, I'm gonna say you instead of me. I'm gonna just use you as the name. If I want to get Scorpio, I love how passionate they are about things. They're all or nothing. They're very in there. You feel it. They're very fiery, right? So these people are like, ooh, I lack energy. I wish I had that passion in my life. I wish that, nobody cares about me. Nobody loves me. Ooh, I found somebody that I know. Ooh, I can easily get passion out of them. I can easily get the effort and the love, and I can get the attention without even being their friend, without even restoring it back. You know what I have to do? Do something to tick them off and then make it look like I didn't do it, because it's going to drive them crazy, and they're not going to be able to say it or to compose themselves enough to be able to say it in a mature and adult way. And so it's going to make them look crazy. And look, now I got somebody that did all of that had this big rise, that caused this big scene because of me. And I get to walk home feeling like, look, somebody cares about me in the world. Somebody cared enough that they would embarrass themselves just to prove their point. And then I still walked away looking like I didn't do anything with no swords in their hands, right? And then here you are with all the swords in your hand looking like the bad guy, the Grinch, because they made you out to be that. Now, whatever they did to you, rightfully, they probably did exactly what you said that they did. It's not a matter of being right? That's you have to get out of that. That's not how you win that. It's not a being right, because whoever is yelling, I used to have this thing, if you grew up black, whoever yelling is who getting the whooping. So if mom come in the room and you're the one who's yelling, you're the one that's getting in trouble. Not saying that we should get whooped or anything. I don't believe in that anymore. But I'm just saying the loudest person is the one that they see. They don't see everyone else that's doing anything else, right? So I know what you're going through. I can tell you exactly what you're doing. So then you got to a time period where I'm not going to say anything about anything, right? I'm just going to leave the situation, right? So then it becomes ghosting, right? Because now you're still not doing it from a place of love. It's from a place of, I'll show you, I'll just be quiet, and then I'll make you look crazy like you tried to make me look. So let me tell you how you win with this. This energy, you take this and you say, hey, is there any particular reason you treated me that way? That when you do that to me, it makes me feel like A, B, and C. And see, the thing is, sometimes, Scorpio, you guys it's hard for you guys to be vulnerable, right? To say that somebody hurt you, but that's your secret, that's your superpower. Like this guy has on this green right here, that's his superpower. This is the heart chakra. That's your superpower, to tell the truth to a person, right? And to use it in that way. And that's how you win. That's how you win that battle. You can look at this like that, but if we look at it from that perspective, look at all the swords that he holds. Look at the battle that he's won because of this green tunic that he has on, because he spoke from his heart. So when I'm looking at cards, I don't just look at them like no card is good or bad. We can interpret this energy in two different ways. So negatively, do you see how, whatever, I'm looking like the crazy one. I won the battle, but I lost the war, right? But when you do it from a heart space, hey, this really hurts. If I want to be in your life, I want to be your friend, I want this to happen, but I just need these things from you, and I understand if you can't provide those for me, and and it may just be me, it may not be you. And then you do that to that person, right? And then they're going to do one of two things. Either they're going to comply with what you say to have you in their life, or they're not. And guess what you do if they don't? You do this. And then this is no longer ghosting. This is, hey, well, we had this agreement that you would do A, B, and C, and you didn't. So, I understand that you didn't do that. Maybe at another time, we can get it back together. But, as of now, I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing, and then you can do yours. And you see how that water becomes smooth, because you got that maturity to be able to do that. Instead of trying to fight fire with fire, you see, oh, you're fighting fire. Oh, let me get some water. Oh, you got water. Okay, let me steam it up a little bit. So you're learning which angle to be able to go into a situation. So Jesus Christ, I went in on that card right there. I think it's important to keep the 5. We're gonna keep the 5 over here just for old time's sake, because I didn't pull that. But let's see. Spirit, what else do we have for? So then you got the 10. So I'm gonna put this right here, the 10 of swords, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put this right here. So let me tell you. So yes, this is this being able to, that part of you being able to die away, to where you're going to these extremes and it's not working for you. It's not about what you're doing, it's the space that you're doing it from. And the universe is kind of wanting you to rise above, so you can see how to be the balance in the world, be the equalizer, be an equalizer, like equalize the situation. You always win when you equalize. I'm telling you, listen to me. If you're competitive, when you can equalize the situation, you always win. It may not look like it on paper, but the way that you're going to feel, these people, when you do this to these people, they don't even know that they won't know until probably years later what you did. Like, they thinking like, oh, this person gave in to me. No, you won't realize it till you realize it. And then now you've created the space for them to come back and say, hey, you know what? When I did that, that was really wrong of me. And now you've left it on them instead of ghosting them. So, oh, they ignored me, so I'm ignoring them. Or yelling at them, oh, they cussed me out. So, or they screamed at me, or they went off on me. So I have all the right to not apologize to them. No, you need to get your apologies in there, because sometimes people do things that are wrong and they need to, not saying they need to, because they don't have to, and we don't actually have to have an apology to move on. But when you do this, I promise you, you get a lot more of what you're trying to get. You get more bees with honey, flies with honey. I don't know, whatever one of the things is where you get the good thing from being sweet. So yeah, it doesn't mean that you sit in anybody's crap. It's just the place that you're doing it from, okay? When you're being truthful, you can stand on that. You don't feel bad at night about what you've done or how you looked or anything like that when it's coming from your heart space. And if you're in this moment, if your feelings are hurt because of what somebody's done, you really don't want to yell. You really want to say, hey, you hurt my feelings. That hurt me. I cried. You know, that hurts me when you do that. It reminds me of something. Or you said you wouldn't do this again and I trusted you. You really want to say that. It's not anger. So if you tell the truth, and don't try to hide that part of yourself, because when we hide it, then we be this person and nobody gets the explanation of why. Sometimes people deserve to hear what they've done. You know what I'm saying? Don't give them the easy way. It's the easy way when you go off, because they don't have to stay for the whole conversation. Once they hear a cuss word, or once they hear you raising your tone, or once you block them, they can say, oh, you just cut me off. You didn't want to work it out. They'll use that as an excuse. And then now they don't feel guilty about whatever it is that they should probably feel guilty about. So when you act from a space of love, you give them the chance to be able to come in, and then they come and try to balance their books after that. And then you're the one that gets to decide if you want to proceed or if you want to not, which usually you should just, by the time, I promise you, by the time you get here, you won't even care no more. You'll be like, oh, okay, it's cool. You know, I just did whatever, blah, blah, blah. You won't even care anymore. I promise you, when you got that zero balance, you stop caring about it, all right? Because you really release it and you really let it go. You're not holding on to it. And sometimes I know it's hard for us as earth signs, not earth signs, as fixed signs, it's kind of hard for us. And Taurus and Scorpio are on the same axis, and both of us we harbor things and hold on to them for a long time. So you got it in you very, very tough to do that. Okay, so we have to practice letting those things out, because they weigh you down. They don't weigh the other person down. They hold you back. Okay. But this is you kind of releasing that. I see you kind of getting away from that. And I've seen that, yeah, it probably could have been people who have been using this on you over and over again. I see you kind of just tired of it. This cycle is kind of ending, but here you go. And in the Two of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, this is you saying, which one should I, that's that feeling. Remember in the beginning, I was saying, something isn't right. That's you trying to figure it out. I knew it was coming for a reason. That's that, I don't know. This is you choosing and you staying in this infinity loop. This is that you'll always be making that choice. You're always going to be making that choice forever. For every situation in your life, you're going to be trying to figure out which one of those elements to act from. I'm talking about with conflict right here, but it's more than just conflict. This is in every aspect. If you can understand that is something that you're always going to have to tune in the situation, you can win a lot more in life. I promise. Okay. We're going to clarify those bad boys. Let's see. Let's go ahead and shuffle these. Let's give it another shuffle. We're going to clarify these. Clarify the Six of Swords. Let's see here. All right, let's clarify the Six of Swords. Clarify the Six of Swords. Okay, you got the Two of Wands here. So yeah, that's once again making a decision. You're leaving that behind. You are also moving on here, but this is leaving, but making sure that's the Two of Wands right there. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm using this deck and I haven't used this deck in a long time. So I'm like, where does this other hand come from? Because in the normal deck, it's only one person with two wands. And I'm like, who is this other person? But I see it. I was like, Spirit just gave it to me right away. Yeah. When they come to you with that, guess what you're doing? Let me see what to give back. Let me look at let me go to my spirit crystal ball right here. Let me go in. Let me go to my guides. Let me go to myself, my inner self. Let me have a conversation with myself real quick. Okay, this is what I'm giving you back from that situation. All right. That's kind of what I'm getting with that right there. Yeah. And also too, another card that popped out right here is you have the Five of Cups. What I kind of see with this Five of Cups is here, here it being in reverse, but I kind of see with this being this way, Usually the Five of Cups is about despair. It's about looking at what's gone and not looking at what's left. What I feel like is people making you feel like you've caused a it's like I'm getting that same thing that it is for me when I haven't went through this in a long time. So sometimes people can say, oh, you're reading about yourself. No, it's not that. It's just that Spirit is telling me to bring up this experience with you guys again, because it's been a long time since I've been through anything like this. But I remember it like the back of my hand as I'm seeing it. And it will be like people will make you feel like you're, oh my God, look at all you've done. Look at the mess you've made, right? And not make you see the potential or the things that you have left. So it's almost like maybe you have people around you, or maybe you have situations, or it may be you that you kind of see, you feel like you'll displace things, or you'll mess up things, or I feel like people have made you feel like this right here is in vain. That can drive you crazy. Like if people are doing things to you, they're like doing things that trigger you, they're doing things to bother you, they're doing things subliminally, and they're not really talking about them, and they're not on the surface. That can really bother you, that if you're reacting to those things and nobody else is there reacting, if nobody else is there, like you're the only person that is giving the energy to the friendship, to the relationship, and things like that, and you're doing it because you care deep down inside, and it's like you have no one there to share that responsibility with, so you take it all on yourself, and it can make you feel bad, and it is what takes you from going to this point to where you're reactive to the place to where you're just kind of not saying anything, where I'm just not going to speak, I'm not going to say anything, because it always causes a problem. So I kind of see you saying, wait a minute, yep, that's something's not right here, something isn't adding up, and this is what's making you look at things from a different perspective. Okay, let's see here. The cards wanted to come out. Yes. Okay, you got the Empress card here with the 10 with the 10 of Swords. Yes, this is that this, let me tell you what this is right here. Remember what I was saying about this aggression right here? This masculine thing. This is the feminine. This is the divine feminine coming in. So you have the feminine energy coming in to support you. And what I feel like it's doing is it's giving you that, once again, the moon. So we have here that intuition of when to be able to step in and to offer your love, and to offer that love and that care in that kind of way, in opposition to what's coming at you, because that is going to win. It looks weak, like I'm saying quote unquote weak, because to a tough cookie, that looks like, I'm not with all that apology crap. I'm not about to talk all peaceful. If a person does this to me, this is what they're going to get back, right? One of your planets that rules you is Mars, so it's a lot of, it's a you're going to get that, you're about to get it, you're going to get it back, right? Like, I'm going to give it to you back. So it's a lot of that, but the Empress is patient, she's loving, and what she's doing is she's looking at them like, oh, look at you, you need attention, don't you? Oh, I'll give you love. Well, here you go. It hurts my feelings when you do this to me. Or, oh, well, I understand if you can't do that. I just need to be in a space for me. It's not about you. It's for me. That's acting from that place of love. And these people, or these situations that have done you like that, are not going to know how to react to you acting like that, because you have not shown this deep feminine side of yourself. It is not to say that you are a man or a woman. It's not to say that you acting, like a tough girl or guy or whatever the case, but it's just that's the part, that's really who you are deep down inside. This is really the essence of your energy. And once you let the masculine, the ego kind of die away, when you can kind of use this underdeveloped kind of energy within you, well, I think it's here. I just think that it's just been misused, because this is feminine energy, feminine energy. When the Empress in this particular situation, this is cutting people off to protect yourself, right? Not speaking to protect yourself, but still, it can, any of these energies can be used from a place that's not from love, that's not of love, and then it doesn't resolve the situation. So when you act, it's not what, like I said, once again, it's not what you're doing, it's the place that you're doing it from. When you do this in love, then you can really move on from the situation. Other than that, you just stay stuck in place. So this is immersion within you, and it is your guiding light at this time to be able to act from that place of acceptance. Like, oh, this is the great mother, right? So it's like, oh, look at my kid needing attention, wanting to be picked up. Not gonna give it to you in that kind of way. You need me to blow up on you, just like a kid that's doing something bad, or that's doing something they're not supposed to be doing. What they really want deep down inside is for someone to show them attention even if it means that they get yelled at, because that's better than getting nothing, right? So this is usually what these people are doing. They do things to be able to get this reaction because they haven't figured out how to give themselves the love that they need, so they have to get it from an outside source. This is funny because this is a Leo. As I'm saying this is some of you are going to specifically be dealing with the Leo in this situation. I'm not usually one that's like a this sign kind of person. I don't usually do that, but this, spirit was speaking to me, and the same thing that I just said about this person for you is the same thing that I said about the person, about what Leo was doing. So so for some of you it may be a Leo. That's kind of funny. Let's see here. Let's clarify this too. Clarify the Two of Pentacles here. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. Ooh, what we got here? Yeah. So you got the Seven of Pentacles. I mean the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Wands, but it's in reverse. And the Seven of Wands is usually about standing up for yourself, or taking, or being defensive, or being like, I have to win. It's another one of those I kind of have to win energies right here, but it's in reverse. And I feel like what this is kind of saying to you is this, because it's a win. It's a win to me. I don't feel like it's exactly the same like this, because this one is more like, I don't care who loses. I don't really care. But this is you really coming out a victor and you rising above the situation. But what I'm getting with these two cards right here is, before you decide to take a stance, before you decide to get on your high horse, make the decision about how to respond, so that you can really rise above the situations that are coming at you. Okay, so that's going to be something to take into consideration at this time. I got really sweaty while I'm doing this reading, so I know y'all want to pummel somebody right now. I don't know who it is or what it is. And for some of you, it may not be a particular situation or a particular person. It may just be that we're just needing to adopt this in our lives, as far as is knowing when to act and when to receive, when to ingest information, or be in a receptive state. When to be in an active state and a receptive state. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're gonna pull a numerology card. Let's see what message here. So you got teaching and learning. You got change. Yeah, I was gonna say chance. You got change. Yeah, that's here. You got teaching and learning here. Let's see here. You got moderation, another card that deals with balance. 14 is the card of temperance. You got balance right there. So it's about, let me show you guys what here we go. Tarot lessons 101, Tarot 101. Tarot 101 for the people, for somebody to get on me and say, you said it wrong. You don't know what you're doing. Look, this is the card that's 14. And temperance is all about moderation. And you see these two cups? This is finding the perfect mixture, or the perfect way for each of these situations, right? And not just going for whichever one is the easiest, right? Sometimes it's not the easiest, but I'm not saying it's a war like you're going to the war. Think as a warrior, not just winning the battle. Sometimes somebody can be like, yeah, it's almost like, I feel like this. Somebody can distract you in battle. Like, let's just say we're on the field, and you always watch these movies to where they do these things where, like, this person thinks they're supposed to be fighting this person, and they're out here and they're fighting, and this person just burst out laughing like, ha 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 ha. And they're laughing because while you were doing this, expending your energy, they were coming in from the back to get whatever was in the castle or something like that. And I'm kind of feeling like that. So don't let people pull you into their stuff. It's called reacting. We don't want to be reactive. We want to be responsive. Wait, take a deep breath, and then you're in control of your next action. Even if it's one that you don't like, you still know that you made the choice. And then once you start making those choices and you take a deep deep breath to make those choices, then you'll say, I don't really like that choice that I made, and you'll decide to change it. You'll learn from whatever decision that you made. But if somebody does something, you do it back, they controlled it. You didn't control that. They controlled you, so they won automatically. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of what needs to change here. I'm going to read to you guys moderation, and I'll read change. Well, let's read change. This card indicates a time of expected and unexpected change. When anything can happen and usually does. By drawing this card, you are being encouraged to think of your life as an adventure in which exciting opportunities could appear at any moment. Rather than fearing the unfamiliar and unknown, you are urged to embrace expansion, movement, and change. Okay, this is a time to go with the flow and open yourself to opportunities that will improve your quality of life. Anything is possible and wheels are set in motion. So be sure to play your part by moving closer to your dreams. You may be called to make changes in your mindset, relationships, residence, lifestyle, or career. Wherever a shift is needed to serve your greater good, it's time to broaden your horizons and re-spark your passion for life. Procrastinations, resistance, and fear only take you out of alignment. So surrender yourself to the opportunities that present themselves. Trust that you're divinely loved and guided, and you'll be shown the way. And once again, this is kind of dealing with that. Don't have a fear of expressing yourself. Tell somebody what they did. I know that it kind of feels like you're exposing yourself and you're going to be vulnerable. And yeah, that is true. But after that, what can a person say? Like, what can a person do? Scorpio told me that I hurt them because I didn't show up to their birthday party. Well, a logical person is going to say, well, yeah, that kind of sucks. You're a sucky person for doing that. They're not going to say, ew, this person was, they're not going to do that, because I'm feeling like these things are justifiable things. It's not stuff like, I don't feel like this is stuff like you're overreacting. I feel like it's stuff like it's rightfully so. It's just that you're having a hard time kind of conveying, it's not coming out the way that you're thinking that it's going to come out. Okay. It's kind of what I'm getting there. So let's see. 14 is moderation. All right, so this is the one I really wanted to read. The card indicates a need to exercise restraint and self-control in every area of your life. Perhaps you're overeating, drinking too much alcohol, smoking, over-medicating, taking drugs, overspending, over-exercising, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of stuff, consuming too much sugar or coffee, gambling, or otherwise overindulging or engaging in obsessive or aggressive behavior, okay? It says it right here, so you don't think I was just adding it, all right? I know it ain't focusing right now, but yeah. This card serves as a gentle and loving reminder that behaviors such as these can delay the manifestations of your dreams. This card also indicates a need to balance your desire for freedom and adventure with responsibilities, because by honoring your commitments, you will prevent the buildup of karmic debt. Let me tell you something, what I was talking, remember what I said with the balance, the debt, the negative, you see what I'm saying? You have to be the other thing to balance those things out, all right? By choosing to live as your higher self rather than giving in to your lower tendencies, all right, you align with source and intentions of your soul. Everyone has a shadow side that needs to be acknowledged, embraced, and loved, but when you learn to rise above it, you can make your dreams come true. To improve your current cycle, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that encourage you to exercise temperance, all right? Bam. And moderation. Have the courage to seek professional or divine assistance if needed. Remember what I was saying in the beginning. If you need a third party, get one, all right? You don't have to go at it alone. You can call upon your heavenly helpers for inner strength and courage. With temperance and moderation, I create balance in my life. Balance, that's what we started with. So that is your reading, Scorpio. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you guys later.